Yeah, it'll be fine. Anything you say is perfect.
Laugh and cry. Be sure to cry.
I can't make that happen.
Hey folks, welcome back to the vlog. We have another special treat for you this week. Lindsay is going to interview a friend of ours, a mom with older children, about raising children. And this is actually the second part. It's a continuation of an interview I did with my friend Steve Meeks just the other day. I'll leave a link in the description below, so be sure to check that out. There's an extended version of the interview on his podcast as well, and it's all about, as fathers, how we can raise godly boys and godly men. But now I'm going to kick it over to Lindsay and Donna, and they're going to have the motherly side of the conversation with you. Are you all ready for your interview?
Yeah, we're getting ready.
Okay. All right, so I'll pick it up with you here at the end, and we hope you're blessed.
All right, so today I'm going to talk with my friend Donna Meeks here. Donna and Steve, her husband, have been a huge encouragement to us throughout the years we've known them. They've raised 5 children who are mostly adults now, and we've just been really encouraged by how their children are turning out. They're just children who are involved with ministry. They have a heart to serve the Lord, and they still have a close relationship with their children, even though they're now adults. And so I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit and ask you a few questions about how you did that and what are some things that worked for you guys.
Well, I did not grow up in a Christian home, and either did my husband, so we kind of came at this kind of totally green and totally open and wanting to do it well. So I read a lot of books and listened to some tapes and things, and one of the things that I had heard was that the thing that will make the biggest difference in your adult children choosing to follow God is if they have parents who love each other, and they know that and they're secure in that. And then the second thing is that that they could see that we had a genuine faith, that it really was a real faith. So while that was relieving that I didn't have to be a perfect parent, because I knew I was making mistakes every day, at the same time it was convicting, because I wanted to make sure that we were working on our marriage and that we were also really trying to grow and not just go through the motions of go to church and it wasn't a checklist. It was a relationship.
You weren't just trying to have all of the external things behaviors, but really getting to the heart of what was going on with your children.
And the same thing with our kids. In talking with them and training them, we really tried to focus on the heart. And that's hard sometimes to remember to do when you got a bunch of little ones running around. But taking the time to do that is important. And talking a lot. We talked a lot with our kids. Asked a lot of questions.
To figure out what's going on inside of them. That's good.
Hey, sweetie.
Okay, so Noah is going to join us now. So yes, one thing that I can come to you because I know you have experience with boys. You have 4 boys and 1 girl, right? So one of my challenges with boys, as you know, is just they're very active, and the things they want to do are big and just messy, and so what were some ways when your boys were younger that you maybe harnessed that energy, creative ways that you managed your home?
Well, as far as managing my schedule, my personal schedule, at one point when I had so many and so many different levels of schooling, I had to actually have a little chart that helped me know what to do when, because otherwise it didn't happen.
Right.
And then I found recently a bunch of little note cards where if this is, what it means to clean the kitchen, and each kid knew these things are, what I expect.
Checklist kind of thing.
And and that was very helpful, and it was very fun to find and realize, I hope, I'm not sure if I'm teaching the youngest one that. I need to make sure. But as far as like boys needing to be active, I'm a firm believer in that. I feel like that's a lot of the problem in schools nowadays, is that kids are so cooped up, especially boys.
Yeah.
So it's important to have time outside and run and play and be creative, which your boys have a perfect setup here.
Yeah.
And sometimes if they were active, if it was, I could tell they were fidgety, and then I would just say, go run around the house. 5 times, run around. And we did that a lot, and I don't think they minded.
Yeah, those are good ideas. I like that. That's something I'm thinking about with my boys. There's little training things, like when you do the dishes, make sure this is done with it, because you might show them, but then they might go to do it on their own and not remember all those. So if they can read, that's a helpful thing
and
to
if
do.
they don't know what you expect, then they can't do it right, and then it's frustrating for you too.
Yeah,
so
that's true. I was asking you earlier, as your young boys start to kind of grow up, I mean, ours are still pretty young, but just as I think ahead, as your boys are growing up, and then as their mother, you want to still, you have a role of authority, obviously, in their life, but then how do you foster, just like, you want to respect them too as men, and give them that sense that, they're manly, and they are a leader, they're going to become a leader too. What are some ways that maybe you fostered that in your children, your boys?
Even at age 7, they start kind of wanting to be like daddy. They're not as so attached to mom. So that's good. And you can encourage that, and encourage them doing things along with dad, or wanting to be like daddy, or that they're strong, or that they're going to grow up and be a good daddy someday because you see something that they're doing with the younger sibling or something. But as far as like your authority, your relationship with them, you're still the mom, so that needs to be very clear. Like if they test you a little bit, then you might say, hey, you're growing up, and I'm proud of you for showing that you want to be responsible, and you want to make some decisions on your own. But I still know more than you. Yeah. I'm responsible to be training you. So I'm still going to have a voice here.
Right.
And you have to listen to me. And so even when my kids were taller than me, I still felt like I was, saying, hey, even though I was going
and
like
your
this.
boys are pretty, most of them are pretty tall.
Yeah. And so they knew to respect me. And that's part of growing up, is learning to respect women, and to value the role that a woman has in the world, and in the kingdom, and in their life. And so that's part of what we have to call them for that. But as far as like, you'll just see things in them that are revealing their strengths. But, whether it's a boy or a girl, you're going to be noticing those strengths and encouraging them in those strengths. Yeah. And like I said earlier, sometimes their strengths look like a weakness. So when you see them being super bossy or controlling, it may be that they're a strong leader. And you can lead them in that.
Yeah. Well, I know we could go on for lots more questions and things, and I've appreciated what you've been able to share. And so hopefully our viewers will also be blessed by your wisdom.
Well,
so
thank you. We're still learning, and we're still in the middle of it. We've got a 16-year-old still at home.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but you've been an encouragement, so thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks for the interview, gals. I hope you guys were totally blessed by that. If you'd like to hear more about this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll have more wisdom on parenting and children here in the near future. And also don't forget to check out my interview with Donna's husband Steve. I'll leave links in the description below. Be sure to check it out. And that's it for this week. We love you guys. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.